So, good day everyone. So, we were about to tackle about the procedural programming versus OOP or object-oriented programming. So, these are programming paradigms. So, these are styles of approaches to writing the and organizing code. Different paradigms provide unique ways of handling data and structuring programs, and they shape how developers think about problem solving in code. So, So, ang procedural programming and object-oriented programming are programming paradigms. These two, th- these are the two of the most common paradigms. So, what is procedural programming? So, procedural programming is a programming paradigm that emphasizes a linear top-down approach where code executes sequentially. It's organized around functions or procedures that perform operations on data. So, ang procedural programming is naa siya procedure in the word procedural. So, the, that we can perform the operations of data. So, how it works? In this paradigm, data and functions are separate. So, sa procedural programming, the data and the functions are separate. Functions take data as input, so process it and provide an output. This approach often leads to global variables, which are accessed by different functions, leading to less modularity. So, what is object-oriented programming? So, object-oriented programming is a paradigm that organizes code around objects rather than actions or functions. In the word object-oriented, so this paradigm organizes the code around object. So, tuyok lang siya around the objects rather than the actions or the functions, unlike sa procedural paradigm or programming. An object contains data, or we call it attributes, and behavior or methods, with the aim of grouping related information and functionality together. So, OP core principles. So, these are the core principles of object-oriented programming. We have the polymorphism, encapsulation, inheritance, and abstraction. So, what are the comparison between the two? The procedural programming and the object-oriented programming. So, in terms of structure, the procedural organized around functions that operate on data follows a sequential approach. In OOP, organized around classes and objects, grouping data and methods together. In terms in data management, in the procedural programming, data is often passed between functions, leading to potential data inconsistencies and less control. While in the OOP, data is contained within objects, making it secure and encapsulated and easy to access through well-defined methods. So, sa data, bali, bali if in the procedural, data is often passed between functions. So, while sa OP, naka-secured ang data. Making it secure and encapsulated. Kanang mga data na nag-contain og mga objects. Then, in terms of code reusability, procedural paradigm or programming code reusability is limited because functions don't inherently share data or behavior with other functions or program, while in OOP promotes reusability through inheritance, allowing classes to inherit functionality and making modification easier without duplicating the code. So, sa code reusability, in inheritance principles, bali magamit natong balik ang code without duplicating it. So, bali ma-access gihapon nato ang code bisag wala nato siya gidoble and ma-share nato ang data and other behaviors of that code to other classes like that. So, an LP naga-promotes og reusability through inheritance principles. And the last is the scalability. And the procedural can become unwieldy in large programs due to the lack of modularity and data encapsulation. So, dili siya pwede in a large program ang procedural kay lack of modularity and data encapsulation. So, bali, yung imong data is dili siya ma-encapsulate or ma-hidden. While in OOP, suitable for large, complex applications because it promotes modularity, making the code more organized, maintainable, and extendable. So, mas better din na to gamitin ang OOP or object-oriented programming. It's because of its their characteristics and the comparison between the two. So, here are some code you while using the object-oriented programming. We have this vehicle. So in this example, we have encapsulated this one, the string brand. So private string brand. So in order to access that, we have we make the constructor. And if getter method for brand. If mag-get na to ang method, ay ang brand sa ka-vehicle. So, in polymorphism, kini siya is pwede na to siya ma-overriden by subclass. Bali, maggamit na to ang code. But lahi-lahi siya og specific nga implementation. So, in terms of inheritance naman, so here, so, ang car, gi-extends na to sa vehicle, this, then, i-call na to ang parent class, which is this the vehicle, i-call na to ang constructor niya, so we use the keyword super. Then, yun sa polymorphism, so, override na to the method honk with a specific implementations. And as well as here sa bike na class, i-extend na to sa parent class which is ang vehicle. Then, di-call na to ang parent na constructor. So, use a super keyword. Then polymorphism here, i-override na to ang method honk but specific na to ang implementation in main method. So, nag-set to diri og car brand and bike brand. Then, ato ang giprint o demonstrating ang recalls the overridden honk method of each object. So, ato ang giprint ang if i-print na to diri ang each object like ang sa car ang method na honk. So, mag-output siya kung unsa to ang car na sa honk na method sa ang iyang implementation dira and as well as sa bike. So, try na to run ang code. So, specific at is my God! Wait lang. Why? Here you go. It is public static void. So here it is. So main class. So I named the main class Java OP to demonstrate OOP principles. So here. So in this code, nag-demonstrate siya polymorphism. Diba nag-override man tag kanang method na honk og sa bike pod. So let's try to run this code. So Toyota, the brand of the car, and the car honks. And the bike giant and the bike honks ring ring. So I think that's all. And very thank you so much. Goodbye and good night. Jeez.